Alrighty. Gary Lucas just subscribed. Good stuff, Gary. Thank you. We are heading to the hills. I don't know how much of the hill I'm going to get done, but we'll head to the hills. So cramming in some extra Ks here on Sunday night. Dakota Cooper, how's things? I'm well. I'm feeling a bit lazy though, that's why I'm on here. And look out, who do we have coming, heading towards us? That'd be the Mave. You can see him there on the screen. I might be able to get, if I get him right on, I can't be sure that's going to hit him. He's in this group just here. There goes Mave. Good timing. All right, back at it. Okay. Been doing a little bit of tinkering with the live stream. The audio should be a little bit more synced up with my voice. There's a few milliseconds out there. So we'll see how that looks. And I have a subscriber alert to the channel. I want to be more interactive here with the rides and people in the chat. That's what I use these live sessions for. It's not just me riding bikes, it's about having a chat to everyone above. And about 70% of the viewers are not subscribed. So if you're in the chat and not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and you'll get a little shout out down there. It'll pop up. Assuming everything works. All right, we're gonna go do the big hill. Not Alp to Zwift, not Alp to Zwift. Troy call a couple of big crashes this week. Yes, there have been. How come I'm not upside down? Gravity. If you have the companion app, you can also hit a ride on, as I've just done there. It'll pop up on the screen there with your name. But we'll see if we can get some subscribers as we ride along on the channel. And I'll add some more things to the chat and to the live streams over the next couple of weeks. Because the weather's pretty terrible here. Ocean Boulevard. No, that's where we're going. Yep, that's cool. Oh, questions in already. Garmin 530 or Wahoo Roam? I've unboxed the 530, that's it. And I think it's the same with any tech. Look, you're going to have to list what's important to you. Troy Collett, in-game, right on, good stuff. What's important to you? Color screens, touch screens, how they operate, how they work. What's the perfect computer for me is not going to be the perfect computer for someone else. So I can't give you my answer because I'm not in sales. So hence me dancing around telling you what to buy. It doesn't worry me whatsoever what other people buy. What I do is present my experience with that. I haven't done the 530 yet at all. I've unboxed it and done my initial setup, which went out the other day here on the channel. A few little things to make sure it's all kosher before I get out there and ride with it. But one thing with the 830, which I've been riding with quite a bit, the interface is familiar. It's the same. It's like going from an iPhone 8 or iPhone 7 to an iPhone 10. Same kind of experience. So like at the end of the day, when you're riding your bike, it's about pushing the pedals and steering your bike and not crashing. As Troy mentioned before, there's a few crashes this week. You're not spending a lot of the time looking at your head unit. So in that respect, nearly every bike computer is the same. It's the edge cases and the different types of use that's going to define which one's which and which one you purchase. So you have to ask yourself, is navigation, do I use that a lot? Multiple bikes, multiple sensors. They're all pretty good with GPS tracking. Price, battery life, bugginess. There's a lot to it. When my heart rate's higher than the power, yeah, look at that. What a shocker. got the fan on. I'm going to have to reposition the fan shortly though. I try and turn the fans down low for the live streams so you don't get fan noise. But this is a thicker than normal top, so I'm heating up quite a bit. Alright, enough about me. Trainer specific bib shorts or standard road shorts. I saw the other week Primal came out with the esports bib. Okay, so if you're not participating in esports, you can't wear them. What happens if you're just on the trainer? Crappy name, if you ask me. I think there's definitely a market there for indoor clothes. So something like this, but mesh, that you wouldn't wear outdoors. Well, maybe to some nightclubs, but not me. Really lightweight stuff. Mesh all around that you get red carded for outdoors, but a good chamois indoors. But yeah, not labeling it an esports bib. Why not just call it clickbait bibs? But we're talking about it. It's work. That's how the internet works. It's funny. There's a big difference in what's published out there on the internet. We saw a really good article by Cycling Tips this week. SpeedX, if you want to read through that, over on their website. It's a really good read. And good journalism, good in-depth stuff, good research. And you flip open YouTube and you see the title, Is Road Cycling Stupid? Published by a large YouTube organisation. Like, hang on. There's everything in between too, so choose your sources. Alright, I'm definitely going to have to move that fan before we head up the Elp. Is it the Elp? No, it's the Epic Con, do they call it? I can't remember, it's been a while since I've been up there. I've always been hanging a left or a right onto the new TT course. How's my battery level on that? 81%. Oh. That phone won't get through this ride. I can guarantee that. What's the next big thing I'd like to see on Zwift? Something that changes the gameplay. Something that changes the user experience. What we're seeing on screen right here, it's the same for 4 years. Going up this little hill. It's cool, don't get me wrong. That's why I'm still riding it. There's been... The group rides have changed Zwift entirely. Group workouts, a little bit. More focus on workout mode and the user, the individual, and tracking of fitness. I think it's probably a big one. That's all farmed off to Strava at the moment. There's no way within Zwift to track my fitness. So bring that in-house, give us some tools. What else? Oh, plus crosswinds and steering, teamwork, more animations, the ability for me to spin up the Lama group ride and invite everyone else along, or for people to randomly join if they want. What else is on my wish list? There's a lot. That's before we even get into hardware. Cross country or downhill? Yeah, for sure. There's no reason why I couldn't drop off to the side, over that ledge, have the trainer just drop resistance, kick in straight away, give us some randomness. Give us some real dynamic changes in sim mode. That'd be cool. Marcos, I'm on the kicker core. That's the picture there. There's me searching for gears. And I need my DI2 buttons to operate power-ups. There we go, there's another one. We can have D-Fly channels operate the feather. That'd be cool. I've got no head unit on at the moment. No Garmin's or Wahoo's turned on. Just the kicker. This session's about me, fitness, getting the K's in that I didn't do this week. I'm not collecting data from this one. Eric Salangi from Zwift Insider. Look out. There's the guy you want to ask. What does he want to see in Zwift next? Shout outs to Eric, ZwiftInsider.com. Think Apple Insider, but Zwift. Good info over there. Lots of bike testing, wheel testing, how-tos, and sometimes a link to over here on my YouTube channel, which is handy. What's my FTP at the moment? I have no idea. No idea. I'm entering it as 300, but who knows? It's a bit less than my core temperature though. Crikey, I am cooking. I'll have to jump off and change the fan when I'm on the bridge up here. Whew. Nathan's riding Zwift at the moment on a dumb trainer and has found when racing over hills he has to push a bit harder than when on a smart trainer. Is there any reason for that? No. Your Zwift speed doesn't know what trainer you're on, only the power source. What we usually find is people on smart trainers will do a little better on rolling hills because it will punch the resistance in, which gives people something to push against straight away. But over the top it lets go. So they're at a slight disadvantage. In theory it evens out, in practice, not really. But it's just about where to put the power down. So maybe just start punching the hills a bit, keeping up with the front group, and bunch positioning, which is the same as the outside. Get up the front but not on the front. Obviously I don't rate FTP as a worthwhile indicator of fitness or progress. Absolutely I do, Sean. It's a very good indication of that. I'm just not tracking my fitness at the moment at all. If you're looking at doing specific training zones, for sure FTP is a good start. Something like the Sufferfest 4DP builds on top of that again. Super important. But like which head unit to choose for outdoor rides, my answer's different to everyone else. And it's where you're at. If people aren't in training mode or they're not in training season, throw away the numbers, don't worry about them. Don't track FTP, it'll do your head in. Track cliff bars. That makes me happy. FTP going down doesn't make me happy. M. Brown would like to see me do a ramp test. Last time I said I couldn't feel my arms, yeah. If I was to do a ramp test, it'll just pop up on Strava one day. I won't live stream it. I don't want to be a performing monkey. It's not elegant to watch. It's a good marketing tool, I guess. Matt Stevens did one the other day. A lot of people watching that. Sometimes easy to suffer alone and then watch people click on it on Strava. Fix my fan, Luke, good call. Haha, done. I can't even clip in. Jelly legs already. I've got to get to the hour so I can have my Cliff Bar. Here we go. Oh, crunch. Alrighty. Here we go. 79 viewers. If you are not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe within this live stream and your name will pop up. Guarantee it. Over here. If you're already subscribed, cheers. I do appreciate it. Peanut butter crunch, says Luke. So, okay, before we get up, what have I got? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Cliff Bar Life. I think they were down to $2.50 here in Australia, which equates to, oh, what's that in freedom units? About $2 American? Still not 99 cents. Crunchy peanut butter, hell yeah. Okay, gotta get up the hill and then I'll eat that. So I'm more excited about eating junk food, well, ride food, than I am about knowing my FTP. It's all about priorities. Okay. Hey Luke, thanks for the heads up on the fan. I would have forgotten and cooked halfway up. Rich from Vietnam. Just ordered his first trainer. Awesome. Rich, just let us know what trainer you went with, mate. Sean, thinking of a new bike, electronic gears or not? Not a question. It's electronic gears. Which group set? That's the question. I love it. I held out for so many years. Says me using the climbing shifter right there with a big smile. There's a big debate over Di2 has cables. SRAM is like wireless. That's all good. Different price taps. Price taps? E-tap, I just read this. Price tap, yeah, well, SRAM does tap your wallet pretty hard. There's no dancing around that. I ended up Di2 Ultegra on the bike. So it came with pretty good value, I thought. All the third-party upgrades aren't though. $100 for that switch. Another 100 or so for the wireless module. Which I spent hours digging for the documentation on yesterday. If you saw my video yesterday about the broadcast and switching those off, or the unused broadcast channels, not much documentation. Well, not much user-specific documentation about if you have this, then that. It's more about, here's what it supports. But the differentiation between the Bluetooth data and Bluetooth management, couldn't find anything on it. Don't know. I'd like Shimano to put videos out like that. Put me out of business. Super happy. More time to ride. I think companies are reluctant to put a face to their tech because that's just not how it's been done in the past. More than just changelogs though. More than changelogs need to be published. Okay, Rich, Tax Flux 2 on the way. You're going to get one before I do. Let me know how you go. Let me know the whole user experience. When you've got it, of course. Oh. Alright, I'm trying to find some kind of rhythm here. They keep firing away in the chat. Takes my mind off what I'm seeing on screen. Does the kicker core still have issues with reading high power in the sprints for more intense efforts? Yes-ish. I have a video on that coming up. It's a lot better than the original firmware. 600 watt efforts, 800 watt efforts, fine, no overshoots, which was occurring early on. Sprints are probably 70 watts under, but I'm splitting hairs at 1100 to 1200 watts. It's not much. All right. What's my train on? Do you think it's on 100%? I don't feel like it's on 100%. Dennis Casey, what's the maximum gradient percent on the Gen 1 Wahoo kicker? I'm going to go with 20%. Complete guess. You'll need to dig back through the spec sheets of those. That's been a few years out now. But an interesting one with max gradient that's stamped on the side of any trainer. It's not the same for everyone. The max gradient number or percentage is based on a 75 kilo rider with a 10 kilo bike. If you're lighter than that, technically it'll simulate steeper climbs. If you're heavier than 75 kilos, if you're a Clydesdale, rouleur, then it's not going to get to those kind of percentages to simulate in the legs. So be aware of that. It's a serving suggestion. It's not a hardcore. There we go, Steve Knight, Wahoo, 20% to 24. 24 there. But to be honest, anything over 12 or 13, it's not for training. It's, if anyone's ridden up Mountain Baw or a 13% climb, it's not fun. From those gradients and steeper, it becomes about bike technique, which you'll never get indoors, ever. Not with a rocker plate, not on rollers, not with a climb, not with anything. And if you're doing it in the wet, it's about balance and traction. So 13% and above, doesn't matter. Got my steps goal for the day. I must be rocking a bit. Racing up Baw is agony. Oh yes it is. Do I have any inside updates on the Watt Bike Adam? No, sorry. Nothing. I'd love to get a hold of an Adam X, which is their redesigned, rejigged, all brand new, and not for you. Smart bike, only for commercial environments. Not a positive response to my request for that. So you won't be seeing a Watt Bike on my channel anytime soon. If I was to get one from somewhere to re-review, I'd put it up against exactly the same things that I tried last time, which was, for example, like attacking and accelerating on hills. For example, here goes C Riggs, flying past doing an FTP test. Let me give it a right on. Like the acceleration like that, where the Watt Bike got a little confused. I'd just do the same tests again. But not on the cards for the moment. They are in Australia now though. That's a good thing. Whew. Dakota's 56 kegs. Them's climbing kilos. What's the best indoor trainer out there? Ask Brendan. If I had an answer, mate, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I'd publish that one video and we're done. We are done. I'm still searching for that perfect trainer. Can I recommend a first road bike here in Australia? No, but I can recommend going to a good bike store, striking up a really good conversation there about what they sell, what they'll fit you to, them providing pre-sale service, after-sale service, etc. No brands. Giant, a good value. That's why I have a Giant, but that's not an endorsement. Cal watched the Pro Stealth review. That's a bit old now. It's about a year ago I think I did the Pro Stealth. It's still there. It's still on the bike for now. What are my thoughts on the responsiveness of the Edge 830 touchscreen? It's brilliant. It's what the 820 should have been, and what the 1030, I'm getting the numbers wrong, the 1030 should have been as well. I'll do a side by side, hopefully this week. But the touchscreen it's what you expect. In IT or in tech, people were referring to things as Google speed, like super fast. I refer to things as iPhone speed for touchscreens. It just works. 830 is pretty damn close. Whew. Luke's gone with the Tax Vortex. Good stuff. That was one of the trainers off the top of my head that packs a lot of punch, like the Magnus for an wheel-on trainer. If I use the Tax desktop app, I have. When it was in beta, I did a few rides with that. But here's the thing about live streaming that stuff. Go through their terms of service. I don't think you're allowed to. The same with KinoMap and anything that plays a video. I've actually never seen someone live stream one of those platforms. Let me know if you have. I don't know. Again, I have a new subscriber alert, so if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button and your name will appear for 20 seconds. Give it a crack if you're not a subscriber. If you are, don't unsubscribe. Dithering between the 530 and the 830, need advice. One's got a touch screen, one doesn't. Not sure, John. There we go. Ryan Devlin and a little Lama. Good stuff, Ryan. Thanks, man. And in the chat too, look at that. Why is there a little tool next to Streamlabs? Either way, that's cool. I like that. I get alerted. Tips for Zwift racing. Yeah. Be prepared for all-out hell for the first 5 minutes. Be prepared for over FTP for the first 5 minutes. So warm up. Definitely warm up. Because if you find yourself in a race that doesn't go flat out, you win. You're ahead. But if you find out the race does go flat out and you haven't warmed up, you're gone. It is game over. Always be prepared for flat out at the start. Warm up is crucial. Zwift races are harder than any road race I've done for the first 5 minutes. No question. Except for a few time trials, but road racing, and the reason I think this, cheeky resubscribe, you bugger. The reason why Zwift racing is always like that, there is no, out in the road races I've done in previous years, if someone attacks on the line for a longer road race, everyone chases down, everyone's fresh, and everyone gives that rider the look. And they might not get a friendly sit for maybe the rest of the race. So you put it in the digital world, there's no sideways looks. There's none of that in-person, what do you call it? Non-verbal communication, such as chopping someone in the gutter or standard race tactics. So tips for Zwift racing is, it's similar but different, and don't ever stop pedaling. The reason being is Zwift will apply a slight amount of braking when it sees 0 watts. And in real life, that's not really the case if you've got a good draft. You can lean down, ratchet up your shoe, and not lose any positions out in the road. In Zwift, you ratchet up your shoe, you're 10 positions back, or 100. Alrighty. Did I say I was going to check what resistance my trainer was on? It doesn't feel like it's 100%. Ready for the click of shame? Oh, saved by the bell. It is. Just must be ticking over the gears. Okay, yeah, I'm in the easy gears. Alrighty. This part drags on, but it's not as bad as the Giro TT climb. Oh, that is brutal. Halfway to my Cliff Bar. Come on, crunchy peanut butter. Alrighty. Heart rate, god damn. What did I do? I've ridden hump day ride Wednesday and then half an hour Friday night. That's it. Too much sitting down. Not enough riding bikes. Yeah, that heart rate's through the roof. Thank you, M. Brown. Duncan, how we doing? Von and Baby Lama are going well. I think Baby Lama's already doing intervals. Lots of kicking. How do I bring up the menu while riding? Click on the screen. One mouse click. I'll show you in full screen mode here. If I just click anywhere on the screen, it pulls up menu. If you're on a touch screen, you should be able to touch the screen. If you're on Apple TV, grab the remote, throw it through the window, and use the companion app. Okay, at least my watts are 100 more than my heart rate. Just. I had a look at livening up the chat with the Streamlabs chat stuff, but it was too laggy. It really didn't work that well at all. So I've left it the old school way, which is good enough. Ballarat CC don't have a kit in game. St Kilda and Geelong got in very, very early, back in 2015. That's why it's the old school Geelong kit, not the new stuff. I think put in there, along with Canberra CC, I think Sunshine Coast might have been in there as well, maybe. Just a handful of jerseys from Australia as Zwift went out of beta into a paid product 4 years ago now, was it? And then from there you can imagine the flood of requests that have come through. Heart rate is percent of max. I think my max is 191 at the moment. Oh, at the moment I don't really have a choice. But 220 minus age doesn't work for me. It's ballpark. Jens, I'm on the mountain route, but I'm not doing the epic com last little bit. I just want to get up the top of this climb here. Then we'll head to the flatlands. We'll be on half an hour. I've only loaded up Road Grand Tours just to get my head across the tech of their app and their window app, because now Road Grand Tours requires you to have a mobile phone. I just wanted to understand what they were requiring of users to do to get up and running with that. It's a strange one. It seemed to work okay for me, but in a nutshell, for those who aren't across Road Grand Tours, they switch from a standalone app, which is kind of what you're seeing here, to a dual, well, an app and a companion app, to a dual system where it's called RGT Screen, I believe, where on Windows, Mac, Apple TV, you load their screen, and that's it. That's all it does. It just loads the screen, nothing more. You can't mouse click, you can't do, and there's nothing. Then you load the mobile phone. Oh, I'm pointing down here because this is where my mobile phone is. And that is the, oh, hello. Service provider settings update. I'm good. That's where all the control is done. Pairing, logging in, everything is done via the mobile app. Usability wise, it unifies the experience across any platform, Mac, Windows, Apple TV, because the control is via the one unit. As for requiring users to have a few $100 device as their keyboard, not sure that's a good idea. If it was either or, you could do Windows and go through the menus and all have their app, use both ways. That's probably a better way than saying, no, thou shalt not touch keyboard. You've got to use the mobile. So just keeping an eye on that. And as expected, the user feedback was, I think, along the same lines. The biggest challenger for Zwift will be themselves. That's an honest answer on that one. No one's even close on money raising. Peloton's probably the biggest challenger, but they've won the game already. Different demographic, different markets, not ours. Well, by ours I mean probably pretty much anyone who's watching this stream. ATA 55 minutes, really? It's going to take me how long to ride 900 meters? Yeah, just when you're that large and you grow very quickly, it's harder to steer the ship. Zwift will have a challenge on during the TDF but not called Tour de Oz. I think that's because Australia now, they manage New Zealand as well. So you can't call it Oz and keep the Kiwis happy. Anzac would be a good choice, but they're not going to be able to use that name. I don't know. I hope it's called something nice and catchy. Maybe Kiwi Crush, where the Aussies win. Alrighty. Those drops are still ticking up. Troy noticed other platforms are starting to incorporate similar features to Zwift. Well, to be honest, there's not much more to it. They're simulating reality. People riding bikes. I think they've all got the same goal. It was interesting to see Virtual Go put in Ghost Riders, which is something the Zwift community have been asking for ages. And I think smaller platforms are more agile. They can implement features a lot faster. So, again, the biggest competitors to Zwift is themselves there. You've got to have that ability to roll out features, roll out, fail often, fail hard. But as long as the core works fine, as in the base product, there's no reason why they can't roll out beta ghosts. With the proviso that it's beta. But other platforms will have the ability to do things a lot faster. Oh, where's the end of this climb? 300 meters. But that's just business in regards to features and rolling things out. What I'd love to see, and anyone feel free to grab this and run with it, is race simulation games, mini games, where you're thrown in at 3k to go into a sprint lead out train, and you've got rider bots all around you working for you and against you, and you get to play out a number of different tactics yourself in the comfort of your own little virtual world like this. And you can make mistakes. You can follow different wheels. You can choose to, pick a gap or not. And then cross the finish line, wait a little bit, get dumped into the same scenario again. I reckon that'd be cool. What about a climbing simulation where you're 5Ks from the top, you've got AI lieutenants ripping massive turns, and one by one they're swinging off, and at 1K to go, it's just you against your PB or an AI bot that's tuned at about 105% of your personal best. That would be cool. If you stuff that up, do that 3 or 4 times in one ride. Now, I'm not talking about looping back down to make sure the fit file all lines up. That should be done, that should be supported. None of this double fit file, chop up stuff. It's a virtual world, they should be able to fly us anywhere. You'll be able to cram in a virtual Tour de France stage in 20Ks. Simulate the start, the rollout, maybe simulate trying to get into a break. Make a mini game of that where there's 100 riders and it's your goal to get away with the front 5 and the bunch chasing you down. You know, you've got other different teams and it depends on the mix of other riders, just like in real life. There's no reason why that couldn't happen. And once you're in the breakaway, then it's your steady state session. You've got to work turns. Then with steering and crosswinds, you've got to swing off the front, swing back on to get a good draft, and do that for 20 minutes. That could be a workout. And then you can choose whether to put the hammer down when the peloton starts closing back in. And you can accelerate the timing of that. And then you can get thrown into the sprint, either sprint with a bunch or out sprint a group of 5. And imagine doing one of those, you know, Anna Philippe or Gilbert is in the little virtual group with you and you're attacking those guys and they're following your wheel. And at the end of that, it's not about getting from A to B and having a 15.6K ride. It's about having a workout that you've just gone, holy shit, I have just slaughtered myself. I've had an amazing experience. And you turn the computer off and you're like, what the hell was that? That was amazing. Changing the experience. There's no reason why that couldn't happen. Even getting Velon involved and putting real data to what you're seeing here. You get to ride the stage. We might be 5 years off, we might be 10 years off, we might be commercially never feasible to do that because of licensing. But this is the kind of things we were thinking of when the Kicker first came out and all we had was erg mode. You're like, hang on, if this is connected, then we're going to be able to push this to the internet and race other people. And look what we have now, so we have to find out who's thinking 10 years ahead. That'll be a fun working group. On Zwift for a little bit. I have a Cliff Bar to eat in 17 minutes, which I'm really looking forward to. Oh, that cooked me. Thank you for the sub. We should have, there we go. Clyde Joiners 1. Welcome along. Hopefully you'll find some good value out of the channel here by being subscribed. It's a bit of a mix with what I do. It's tech-splaining things, mostly so I understand it myself. A lot of the stuff that I'm presenting or doing is it's what I figured out in the days prior, and I want to pass on and have sit there as a resource. Like the Di2 stuff, there's no documentation of the new Di2 configuration stuff, just changelogs. So I thought I'd put that video together. Any other hardware that I get, we can have a chat about that. User experience reviews, I'd call it. And I really enjoy that. As frustrating and as fun as it can be. You get it all. NTU100, when are we going to see GPLama stickers or merch? When I can find a company who will do it drop ship without me having to touch it. I can't do logistics being here in Australia. Shipping is brutal, absolutely brutal. So if I'm happy to work with anyone who will do kit, stickers, bottles, anything that I will buy myself, just like power meters. They're the things that I want to use myself, the trainers. I want to test them all out. And other tech. A few bikes here and there if I can get my hands on. But if there's any kit company who can do that. What I find is a lot of manufacturers will happily do the manufacturing, but they won't store anything, or they won't do it just-in-time manufacturing. Which means you've got to order a minimum order, hold it yourself. I've got a ton of good ideas for merch, but one day we'll get onto that. But I do appreciate the question, because I'd wear it too. We're going to the Italian Villas. We'll go back to Old Town Road. Let's go ride some horse. Jonathan Sweet watched my video on the achievements. Thought it was a good idea to do the 25 laps of Volcano, which is that... How far is it? 4 kilometers? I can't do the math. Yeah, 4 kilometers, 25 k's, yeah, that'll be it. And then get the 100k orbit. 25 laps have not been awarded a known bug. Oh! What was I saying about Zwift competitors being themselves? That stuff needs to be... It's got to work every single time, no question about it. It's got to work first time, every time. You're putting 100k's in virtually, you get that award. They'll fix you up with the support, I'm sure, but the fact that you've typed that, that out, I'm sure there's a bit of frustration there. Uber Pretzel from Duncan, thanks for dropping by, mate. Yep, get stuck into the Uber Pretzel. Looks like you've got a plan already for the ride, which does help before you sit on the bike. If you've got an idea about how far you want to go or what route you want to do, much easier to complete that. Alrighty. Now, which way to Old Town Road? I've only done 20k's, we'll go the long way. We go the long way. Yep, Italian Villas, that'll do. I've got to get a decent ride in tonight. 99 viewers. I appreciate people dropping by and saying g'day. We're just running this in the background. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and your name will pop up with my new little subscribe thingy-me-jig that pops up. Being more of a resource channel than an entertainment channel, it's about 70% of viewers aren't subscribed. So I've got to turn that up a little bit. It helps get things ticking along and pleases the algorithm gods, which is everything on YouTube. All right, level 40, we're getting there, we're getting there. Drop some ride-ons. Hey. That circle in the middle of the screen there on the companion app. Once it's solid, I can click it. It'll drop ride-ons to I think 4 random people in the vicinity. But you can't just keep smashing it, that's why it boom, has to grow again. And oh, it's none for 2 there. Crunch. When little Lama comes to a balance bike review, nah, the little dude can get on and do a full Lama lab test at the prescribed wattages. I might do it on watts per kilo though. Oh, unless you want me to ride the balance bike, we can sort that out. Leonard Reeves from Norway, how you doing? How's the weather up there, Leonard? Is the sun out? Does it get warm in Norway? That's the question. Ron, you're going to have to ask me that in live chat. Or stick your head in. You got to come around this side. But don't step on my ant stick. Look out.
I didn't know which side I was popping on. I'm like,
It's flipped. It's flipped so it doesn't read Nitas or Satan or something like this.
That's cute. How long have you been riding for? Oh, 50 minutes.
Hey Von, have you subscribed?
I was out at dinner.
Have you subscribed in the past? That's the question. It's overcast right now.
Looks good.
Rainy England. Oh.
Are you going to do an hour?
I'll go more than an hour. I got your Cliff Bar to eat in an hour.
Oh, they're the best.
Chat channel.
Yeah.
Crunchy peanut butter, I think got voted. Do I live in Australia? I bloody hope so, Von.
Oi, mate. Sure do. Alright, I'll let you guys keep going. See you later.
See you, Von.
I'll come join you after.
All right. Cheers from Iran. Hey. No, I know the weather's going to be nice and warm there. I think it always is. Nelson, New Zealand. How's the snow season going over there? Our snow season here in Victoria kicked off really well. I think, hey Siri, what's the snow depth at Mount Hotham? Siri's not that advanced. I'll look it up though. Is it Mount Hotham snow depth? Did I just hit a hill? Yes. Mount Hotham snow report. So we do have snow here. Bugger all so far. Okay. Mount Hotham. Oh, yes, cookies accept. Okay. Six inches of snow. Oh, that's crap. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. Friends don't let friends apple. 14 centimetres. That's terrible. I thought it was a lot more than that, but they had a big. Rain must have come through with some really warmer northerlies through there. Our northerlies are warm in Australia because upside down. Oh, volcano quick. There we go. Long way home. 23 and sunny. Beautiful. Well, we shall be in Amsterdam in 3 weeks, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be nice and warm over there. Any tips for pedal tension too tight on the Asioma? I'm assuming you've backed them all the way off. Failing that, there is a hack for the Asioma that people have been doing. I wouldn't advise it not if you're a bit of a sprint pig, putting out more than 1,000 watts, is to remove one side of the springs and only have one spring on there. But again, not something I'd do. I'd loosen them off, maybe a bit of wax-based lube on the cleats, or I don't know. They shouldn't be hard. I'm not sure what mine are on. They're quite easy. Let me see. I think I'm about 3/4 and they pop out pretty easy. But there could be different tolerances on different manufacturing runs, not sure. I think there's a thread on, it's either the Trainer Road forums or Slow Twitch about the Asioma tension. I'm sure if you Google for it, it'll come up. Give it a crack. But you're not alone, someone else has had that as well. J-Ho from Radlaide. Radlaide is awesome. I cannot speak highly enough of Radlaide, especially for 1 week during January. How good is that place? For the tour down under. Thoughts on the new Trainer Road outdoor workout push to Garmin feature? Excellent use of technology. I'll give them that. I spoke about this in the Fit File podcast, I think this week, which may not have been published yet. Let me check. Oh, shout outs to the Fitfile podcast that both DC Rainmaker and I do on a weekly basis. Just checking now. That should be pushed soon. What you're looking for is that blurry thing that I put on the screen there. If you just search GPLama or DC Rainmaker on the podcast app of your choice, you'll find that. We covered the tech specs of it. But yeah, the one thing I'll say about that is they did documentation really, really well. They've released it in early access / beta, and they've got a step-by-step recipe of how to use it. And if you saw my video yesterday of me stumbling, is a better word, stumbling about trying to figure out what goes on with the new Di2 wireless module, then having true and correct documentation is bloody brilliant. So kudos to Trainer Road for the documentation. The feature itself, I don't know anybody who uses outdoor workouts. That's a personal comment. For me, all my training was distance-based or effort-based or hill-based. I kept the track up here, or I just hit lap, and that's all I needed. I guess if you have a prescribed workout with a certain TSS, it'd be kind of handy. I'd love to know the usage stats though. Another thing, perfect time of year to be releasing that kind of stuff. This time of year up north in the Northern Hemisphere, massive churn season away from the indoor trainer. So to release something related to your product that keeps people engaged and using your product is brilliant. This hill, not so brilliant. But there's a ton of tech out there that it's like Lego. There's all these parts out there and they haven't been put together. So right here, I've got Ant Plus from my Di2 with D-Fly, and Zwift doesn't support it. It'd be nice to be able to press a button and have it do different things on Zwift. There's no reason that can't happen. The technology exists. Cycling dynamics, I'll talk about that hopefully this week if I get to it. About having the avatar stand up when I stand up, having the avatar sit down when I sit down, based on the cycling dynamics data coming from my pedals or my power meter. That's current tech, it's not new. Putting it together is new. There needs to be a lot more of that. There seems to be striving for new features and not fully exploiting what we've currently got. Old Town Road for steady state, yeah. I think that was the plan all along for Old Town Road on Zwift, which we're heading to now. The long way. Michigan murderer. Says me murdering the English language. Very audible, thank you. I did a bit of work with the audio, getting it all set up with some sound gates to stop the sound of the trainer and the fans. What's my favourite trainer? Okay, trainer for pure training and training only. None of this tech. Purely for training and getting fast. The Lama Revolution. Could ride that thing all day long with earphones. It's buttery smooth. There's no tech involved. If you want to go a little harder, you just go a little harder. It is brilliant. That's my favorite trainer of all time. Lama Revolution. However, it doesn't support through axles, and it's killing me. For racing on Zwift and for just riding along, maybe a kicker or something with a big flywheel, for Lama lab tests, and if that's what the bike is on when I do a race or a ride, the Tax Neo. Budget-wise, well, the core here, the Dorado, is crazy accurate for what it is. They claim the Dorado's 2%, plus or minus. Even the pre-release of the Dorado in 2007 was better than 2% accurate. It was good. What else? The hammer, built hammer tough. Cyclops built themselves a kicker with the hammer, which isn't a bad thing. The kicker does really well. What other trainers are there? I should know, I've got a garage full of them. If there's anything specific about any specific trainer, fire away. Tom Maloney got the Revolution hack up and going with Apple TV and cable. Hell yeah! Just about to start a ride with visitors arrived. It's all good, Tom. Zwift never closes. You can jump on later on. It's good to hear. I really like the feedback where my videos are being watched around the clock, and to hear that even the older ones like that are still being viewed or remembered, I guess, because they're not being viewed a hell of a lot more anymore, the older ones. That's really cool, so I do appreciate that. DC Ramica has P1 and P2. What nickname have you got for the little Lama? I think we'll go with Vector 3 or Asioma. What do you think? Do you get the dad joke I made there? P1, P2, they're power meter pedals. Alright, I'll try again for jokes. I think little Lama's going to stick. I think it's going to be a little Lama. Poor kid. It's got no choice. It's probably going to have no hair either. It should be good. It should be good. Alrighty. Let's get out of the big ring for a bit. That's better. How are Von and I? Yeah, we're good. We are good. Even though it's winter, but we do have... Well, Von has a holiday booked. I have a work trip booked. And we're going to combine the two. See, right now, with the feather, if I had the D-Fly compatibility here and I've paired the D-Fly unit, I'm making things up, it's not there yet, and we can hit the feather right now without moving the hands, that'd be cool. Lamito or Lamita? Is it Lamilo? Sorry, Lamito or Lamita. We'll do a gender reveal one day soon. We know what it is. It. God. Yeah, that works. It. For now, it's a little kicker. Alrighty, Michigan. You have the Neo 2 and the Elite Drivo 2 now. Thinking about smart bikes in 2020. Have a few spare trainers nowadays. Well, one thing I have covered is the resale value of smart trainers is still pretty good. Here in Australia, you'll never lose any more than a couple $100. If you've got an older smart trainer and want to pass it on or move it on, they hold their value quite well. Original Kicker 1's purchased for $1,200, $1,300, still going for $800, $850. And if you've trained on that for a few years, that's a damn good return on investment. I'm not saying you'd buy a trainer, Desert Flats, here we go. I'm not saying you'd buy a trainer as an investment, well, more an investment into your fitness. But to be able to recoup some costs on that, that's pretty cool. Very cool. $848 dark, damp Wales. Damn. It's disappointing. You know what the worst part about having a damp day in summer is? That you never get a nice warm day in winter. I think about that a lot here in Ballarat when it's a shitty day during summer. I'm like, we're not going to get that in return. It's taken from us. Do I ever wear earphones or listen to music to help me get through those tougher workouts? If so, which ones? Which music? For me, it's a bit of techno. Yes. Yes to all of the above. TT intervals, sessions. Quentin LaFay, hey, right on. Rode with Quentin over in Las Vegas, CVR Las Vegas back in 2015. or 16. It was a few years ago. We're over there representing Australia. Where was I at? Music, yes. Over-ear headphones with Lama Revolution for sure, because that thing is loud. Skrillex, Prodigy. What's on my old playlists? So I can't put any on here because it's all copyrighted music. What else? No Taylor Swift. That was down during the cool down. Skrillex got to work out. Over-ear headphones, but kept wiped down though, so you don't sweat all through them. Just buy them, use them. If they break, throw them out. Noise cancelling. It's just usable equipment. Like, it's not a trophy. If you've got some good headphones, use them. If they break, take them back. I had some old, I think they were Audio Technica, wired, not wireless. I have some Bose ones now for airplane travel, the QC35s, which are brilliant. Probably wouldn't wear those on the trainer, though Von does. So then my over-ear choice, cranked up loud. There are papers, there's independent research papers on music saying that yes, you will kick ass more with good music playing. Nick Scolari Velo kicks, right on. Though I've done a few Bluetooth headphones. The thing is, with Bluetooth headphones, you've got to jump on and pair the damn thing to your screen and make sure it's connected, and you know, all those issues. I just want to ride my bike sometimes. I've got enough shit going on here. So I found the AirPods. I don't have them now. AirPods straight to my phone. I load Zwift on the screen, AirPods in, mobile phone near me, and just go. They seem to work pretty well for now. But if I was going back into full train mode, full concentration, then it would be over ears again. And some good techno. No Jimmy Barnes, no. No working class man. What do I think Zwift should do to make sure competitors such as Road Grand Tours aren't getting users? Good question. That's business consulting, but I'll give it a crack. Provide new experiences. Have a good roadmap of experiences. Not just new roads. New roads are cool for a week or two. Then they're done. New York, case in point. It's done. Tons of man hours put in there. And lady hours. People hours. That's what you say these days. People hours put into that. But it's just a course. Continuing to evolve the user experience. So when you jump on, it's new and fresh every time. So I think, was it half an hour ago? Oh! Speaking of time, half an hour ago I was talking about race simulations that you could drop users into virtually. That would be so much fun. Brody arms. I can't even open this thing. So a good timeline, because if when things stagnate, that's it. It's not like an operating system where you load it up and it just works and that's it. It needs to keep evolving. I think passing over control of events to users would be a massive, massive pivot for Zwift. So if I was to say, well, an hour ago, spin up an event, call it GPLama's chill up a hill, and then talk while in Cliff Bar session. I was to spin up an event, and then people could click on and join me and be part of my event only. Where Zwift weren't involved in the scheduling of that. I chose everything as the admin of this ride. That would be sweet. And then spin that off into race mode. I could spin up a race. And the next thought from that would be for coaches to be able to use this whole virtual platform as their delivery for their coaching. And every Monday night, Tuesday night, they do their ride, have their riders come on. And Zwift creates the reality, and the people create the events and the experience. Does that make sense? That'd be massive, that would be huge. because that's what people have been asking for ages. Peel the side. Yeah, well, I made an absolute dog's breakfast of it. I want it to be nice and neat. Sorry, I'm going to be eating for the next little bit. CVO has a racing league offering prize money. Yeah, interesting one. Look at the carve up of the prize. Fair enough, it's 10 grand prize money. But if you look at the carve up of the prize money, there's like $100 here, $100 there, $100 there, $100 there, $400 here. It's all very scattered. But kudos to them for putting money up. There's lots of factors involved when money is involved. That gets scary. Why am I using the kicker core for now? I'm testing, well not testing, I'm using because it's out there for everyone. Firmware 1.0.10, which dropped the other day. I'm just collecting data on that. I've got a ton of data already collected. I should have to sit my ass down and talk about it. In summary, steady state's bloody brilliant for accuracy. Over and unders, no worries. Short, sharp efforts. 600 to 800 watt jams on the pedals, pretty good. Pretty accurate. When you're out of the saddle, things are a little different. Sprints, it's not overshooting sprints anymore. It's probably undershooting by about 70 watts at 1100 to 1200 watts. If you're worried about that kind of accuracy, you're going to be getting a pair of power meter pedals or crankset power meter to really worry about that. So, all up, given this is a mid-range trainer, that's why I'm on the kicker core. And it's a good ride. Ron's got the Neo too. That's right next to me. Okay, Lee McGinley's mentioned the nutritional stickers they put over the Freedom Information from the US. So that's a Cliff Bar. And in Australia they put a massive sticker over the back. It's a whole sticker with our regulations and that you can't pull off. You're right, I forget about that because the ones I bring back from the US don't have the big stickers on them. Yeah, that's the sticker. Look at that. Well, that's half the sticker. It's probably what they cost extra for. They've got to put a sticker on every one of them. Oh, now I've got no... I was going to say no hair on my head, but... Nice one. Alrighty, back to the questions. Hang on, let me go full screen chat. What did I miss? Sorry if I did. Same sticker in the UK, okay. What about Froome winning another? Oh, Froome's not winning much. Oh, winning the other, as in the Giro 2011. What are my thoughts on the biological passport used for after a pro retire? Splitting hairs, or is it necessary? It's nice to know the truth about what we can believe in. I mean, none of us are going to be able to get to that level anyway, but it's nice to know what really took place so we can see what's maybe going to take place in the future, or, you know, believe in performances of today. Someone's comment the other day was, if you're going to split hairs like that, Eddie Merckx is going to be thrown out of all things because wasn't he on amphetamines, etc, etc. End quote. That stops me getting sued, doesn't it? I thought that was a good perspective on the thing. I think it's relevant. I do think it's relevant. As for rewarding the winning of the tour, it'd be kind of weird. I think any racer who's been given the win after the event, well after the event, is going to be like, oh, there's always second anyway, or third, whatever. Fire away in the questions too while I'm ticking away. Anybody who's watching along. I love the left field ones. Any technical issues you've had, it gives me good information to know what people are up to. Maybe what to do videos on, or what to look into for myself. If I don't know it, I don't know it. Will there ever be a tour or Giro stage entirely on Zwift? Asks GreenPig85. Well, there kind of was. The Giro prologue. That was the full stage. The last 2Ks really sucked. As for a 180k stage plus, I don't think so. Adds every possibility it could happen, for sure. The technology's there, no question. I could do it. I think it'd be boring for most of it though. Troy Collett had the Neo for over a year, one of the best investments he's made. Good stuff. Drafting rookie pushing me sideways. Was there somebody on there? I missed it, sorry. Do I do zone 1 rides for recovery? Yeah! I guess what this is probably... Hang on, let me check my heart rate. Is it zone 1? Yeah, it's always handy. If you've had a hard ride, rather than just do nothing, it's always good to get the legs turning over. Recovery from intervals, but also recovery from injury. I've always found we've had a broken collarbone, which Ray and I spoke about this week, our injuries we've had on the bike on the Fit File podcast. We've been full of painkillers and just crap they make you take, or that you have to take to get through it. It's always good to get on the bike and sweat it out. That's what I found anyway. Now if you can see up above, have a look at someone's shining a light. Watch this. 0. Have a look on top of the hill. Or did I go past it? I must have. You can see someone at the top of that hill doing the mirror light thing. Must have gone past. But they need horses. Best pick between Victor 3 or Favero duos, Favero Asioma duos. Again, whatever you go with is entirely your choice. The Asiomas have been on the bike for about a year, on and off, with other things flipping around. The Vector 3s have been on a few times. It's probably an indication of what I think of the Asiomas. They're just pretty reliable. And they're also 2/3 of the price here in Australia, which is a big difference. Still hanging for the Asioma pedaling dynamics or cycling dynamics to come out. That update, that should be very close. May not be. Well, no one's using cycling dynamics on the Vector 3s, much that I know, so it's going to be a nice to have. Okay, Nathan Burrow asks, when racing on Zwift, what are the red arrows that appear during some of the race that are not next to your avatar, either flashing left or right? I don't know, mate. I know in some group rides it still pops up with left or right turns and things. Oh, we need some hills through here. It's getting a bit hard on the saddle. But next to your avatar, no, I'm not sure. I haven't used Climb Pro. I think Climb Pro is cool. I don't think Climb Pro is going to be used by many people. I think it's one of those things where it's a feature because it's a feature, but the fact that you've got to be riding a predefined course for it to work is a massive blocker, huge blocker. If I'm out here riding the Australian Nationals course out in Bunningon, the start of the climb is 17 k's from here. I never do a predefined route if I know where I'm going, ever. There's no need for me to be told where to go when I know where I'm going. And then I hit the bottom of the Australian Nationals climb. There's 3 routes I can do from the base of that climb. You can go up and straight over Midland Highway. You can go up, turn left, and follow the Nationals course, or up, turn left, and to the very top of the old volcano, Mount Bunningon. The climb is really different, really steepens up and then flattens out. So at the bottom of that climb, there's 3 routes. If I get to the bottom of that, I don't know which one I'm going to take. If I'm having a good day or the wind's blowing a different way. The feature needs to be incorporated with something like Strava segments, where you ride along to the bottom of the climb and it automatically pops up. Or there's a button that says show climbs. You hit the base of the climb, show climbs. Which one are you doing today, Shane? Volcano. Click, boom, Climb Pro pops up for just that climb right there. That's how that needs to work. That's my request of how things should work, because we don't have time sitting down at a table when you first unbox something. You go through all the menus. It's super cool to have all this stuff, and it does make looking at different head units really hard. You know, what do you cover everything? But having to predefine that route based on where I'm going to ride that day, I haven't got time to do that. So it needs to be incorporated with Strava or routing popularity. Climb. Here's the top 3 climbs from the base of this climb. Choose one. Here's all the info. And what if I was feeling good and I wanted to do 3 laps? Or pull the pin at 2, but I'd done the route for 3. See the use case there? It falls apart. The fact they've got that tech there now is cool. They've got the base to give us those kind of features. I think the disappointing thing is going to be is pack full of goodness, 10% used. Okay, do I think they should make racing more realistic and immersive and include things like wind? Absolutely. Yes. No power-ups for racing. Everyone has power-ups that equalises everything, but yeah, for sure. The racing experience on here is very different than out on the road. And what would be cool to promote cycling is to have them as close as possible, so you know what you're going to get out on the road, or when newbies come along and race this, they know what to expect. First thing you'll find as an experienced cyclist coming onto Zwift for the first time, straight at the back. Because they're riding along thinking, oh yeah, I've got the draft, I'll just coast, and zoof, they're backwards. Because you can't coast. And positioning. You might think you're up the front, 6 or 7 riders, but you can't feel that acceleration of the bunch, so you might back off a little bit, bunch goes forward, you go back. I guess we haven't had Zwift defined as what it really is. Is it a training platform? Is it a simulator? Is it an esports platform? Is it an entertainment platform? It's being used as all of the above. We haven't seen it really pick one and go really hard at it. I think simulation, that's where they got the opportunity to really step up. Crosswinds, bring on the crosswinds. Who doesn't love crosswinds? Well, when you're at the back you don't love them, but it would change things entirely. Has the Element Roam sorted out their navigation lag issue? As in, it'll tell you to turn when you're at the turn. No probs here, but there's only about 2 roads in this town. I think they're working on that, or have. Rick Wales purchased an Elite Muin. Yeah, they're... I've had the next generations of the Muins, the Turnos, Hura, I think that's it. Hey, there's our dinosaur friend. Which work on power estimation or power calculation based on the speed of the flywheel. Yeah, they're known to overshoot in power. I have not tried an ISM saddle, no. I went through quite a few Pro Logo, Physic, Pro Logo. I was on a Specialized Stealth. I think it was the last TT saddle that I've purchased and did pretty well for me. Now the Stealth was very much like the power saddle for the road bike. So very stubby nose, bit of a plank, but it was never about comfort for 20 to 30k time trials. It's just about pain and power, that's it, and getting aero. Ironman distance, or half, or sprint triathlon, probably a little different. If you have to get off and run, that's what I was doing, you just collapse and you're done. No running required. Low battery. Now where's it going to take me here? I want to pop out the other side. We'll get to 50k tonight. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit subscribe and your name will pop up below. My little subscriber celebration thing I've now got hooked up for the live stream. If you're already subscribed, cheers. That really helps keep the algorithm happy in the YouTube machine. For a beach road weekend warrior, is it better to aim for another grand final or something like 24-hour revolve in Adelaide? Ooh. The 24-hour or endurance events are different things. Doing it solo is insane. Doing it as a group of 4 is insane. Group of 6 is okay. But entirely up to you, mate. Oh, we're going to the Epic Comp. Good. As for the training and the lead up for that though, just make your training as close as possible to the event itself, but shorter in duration. If you're aiming for 100k Grand Fondo, haha, Devin, good job, mate. Thanks for signing up. Mark Francis, cheers. Oh, Mark, you may have had yours blattered by Devin. There's a Lama fight going on. You're up there in the chat, cheers. But if you're doing the 24-hour event and say, let's just say you're doing it in a group of 6. Oh, there we go. It popped up just there. Sweet. Then go out and do hard efforts for maybe 75% of the duration you'll be doing over there for the event. If you're going to be doing 2-hour turns, go out and ride hard for 90 minutes. Maybe even the full 2 hours. But the more familiar you are with the event that you're going to be doing, the less stressful it is. You just get it done. Another day at the office. It's stepping into the unknown during race day. That's the scary part. You got the Moon for €98 or pounds, sorry, off eBay. That's all right. If you then end up matching that with a power meter, you got yourself a bit of resistance, you got yourself some power. What more do you need? Cliff bars. More cliff bars. Oh, it's harder to eat at 157 BPM. I do have the Rome here. Oh, I went blurry there eating. Could have been my vision. Alright. Oh. I should have put the climb on the front. Just takes the pressure off a little bit. That gets a bit static, if you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, we'll go to 50Ks tonight. So I'm here for a little bit more. If you've got any questions, fire away. Or if you've got the companion app, you can give me a thumbs up in game and it will pop up there. That bike's too heavy. Like the rider. Shop blocks aren't bad, yeah. Anything made of sugar. Jolt thumbs up. Good banter. Gonna come up to Darwin again, so I did a crit race up in Darwin a few years ago, asked Brett. Yes, we're up there for the Grand Fondo 2000. I'm lost for years now. I'll hang back this way this time. 15 was it? 16? That was good, but flights to Darwin are expensive. I don't know what's up with that. We're going to go back the next year to the Grand Fondo again, but they were like $500 or $600 return each, or 7. It was cost prohibitive. The funny thing is, when I was up there for the first time, I think they were interviewing a few of us on the line, and I was introduced as a Melbourne comedian. Which was kind of weird. I don't know. I think I had the camera out and talking to the camera. And it was just one of those things where you only see comedians do it. Maybe like a Ross Noble kind of travel-y type thing. Some water. I was up to wash the Cliff Bar down with. Oh, yeah, I've got to put the climb back on. I'm getting a serious case of numb arse sitting there in one spot. Land at midnight, yeah. I think we got in mid-afternoon. And Von's part of the Qantas Club with her work flying, so I got the +1 there. But we pulled the sneaky and asked if we can use the Qantas Club as we landed to have a shower and grab some food. And they let us, which was a bonus. Must have been a Darwin thing. Good hospitality. But I'd love to get up there again. That Grand Fondo was really good. Big open roads. Darwin's a strange one. It's an outback town on the edge of the sea. Now, where's it going to take us here? Left or right? I reckon it'll take me left. Oh, right, downtown. Still got 5k's to go. All right, Rome. Let's check the firmware updates on that. Okay, Abbas is running. I've just missed them. Who can I give them a ride on? I can. Boom. I already have. They should do a trainer or something you can move and sprint like on the road, not like the kinetic. It's a hard one to solve. It's a hard one to solve. Rocker plates haven't done it, solved it. They allow a little bit more comfort, but sprinting is a very hard one. Rome is up to date. On here, I'll show you how the Rome works for planned workouts. I've put on a Lama workout. Oh, you might not be able to see that, but you can. Oh, the colours are a bit out on the camera, but you can do workouts, preloaded workouts. I'm just tinkering around with those at the moment. And they're not scheduled, they're preloaded, so you can select them any time. For me, I've got about probably 5 workout intervals that I do. That's about it. So it's handy to have all 5 just on the head unit. It's not scheduled on a certain day, always there to select. As in regard to sprinting on the road, if you look at the second video I did on rocker plates, trying to explain the different moving of a bike, I think the best analogy I came up with, or best sort of crack, was on a skateboard. If you stand on a skateboard and rock back and forward, hang on, side to side, on a skateboard, that's one thing. But if you move forward and do the same rocking side to side, the experience is completely different. And that's what it feels like on a rocker plate or a static trainer, not just rocker plates, anything that moves like this. It's the difference between this and sprinting, where you like swim like a fish. I don't know if there'd ever be a simulator that will solve that indoors. Rollers are definitely not it. They have a purpose. They can good for leg speed, good for fitness, recovery rides. Those smart rollers with a bit of oomph can be good training, but not for sprinting. Suspended in the air. Yeah. The technology required to throw your body around like that to simulate that would be quite a lot. Just like those car simulators. Rick Wales, that sounds like an epic one. 9 solo 24-hour MTBs. Whew. Downtown. Downtown. Rawson. Can't believe this is live. It's very live. It's live and interactive. And if Joe's watching, g'day to Joe. How you doing, Joe? Where are you guys from? Let me know. It could be anywhere in the world. I'm from Ballarat in Australia. Which, if you look on Google Maps, it's all the way down there. And it's winter. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, because the little nameplate thing will come up nowadays on the channel here. So if you're not subscribed, click away, it helps out a lot. All right, coin toss, left or right? Downtown, which is good because I couldn't be bothered going up the hill. Gareth, man, I was feeling the same. I hadn't done any riding this weekend at all, so I'm glad I could jump on tonight and knock this one out. What time does the Dauphiné start? Must be, and is it the last day? Everyone got it, it was right. Brilliant finish to the stage the other night. 2 riders going head to head. Did I hear I can re-ride your Strava rides on the desktop app? On Strava? On Strava? Tell me more. Pretty late telecast. Okay, so is it the final stage? Usually the final stage is the last, or is it the second final stage? You're half an hour up on us though, Troy. Over in Adelaide. And Perth's got 2 hours up on us. Perth's a good place to watch the tour. They finish at about, what is it, about 11 o'clock at night? Perfect place to watch the tour from. You're not distracted during the day. You can groove a nice ass groove in the couch with some biscuits and watch the racing. Last 1.5 k's, it's going to take us up the hill, isn't it? I drop the power up. I do, because there's no use hanging on to it. I should have dumped it. You're from Melbourne, easy. Did you know all about where Ballarat is? Which suburb? You don't have to tell us the street. Lived in Ballarat lived in Melbourne for 17 years, I think it was. My phone's trying to tell me something. Usually I've got an external power source plugged in. No schedule for the live sessions. These are just whenever I'm feeling really lazy and I've got to cram some Ks in and take my mind off riding. So these are just at random times. For now. Tropical Ballarat 6.2. Hey, that's more than our maximum the other week. Ringwood, good stuff. Good bike path out between Ringwood, Donvale, Doncaster in the Eastern Freeway. I used to work in Doncaster East and used to ride home via Old Warrandyte Road and the path through there, dodging wombats at night on the gravel path. Doing gravel before it was cool. Probably about 15 years ago now. But there's a Ringwood path near the underpass or the tunnel. there's some bike paths there that are way too steep. Oh, you need the 1 in 20. Okay, you're out the road a little bit. The bike paths at the is it the Mullam Tunnel? They are extremely steep. Never a recovery ride though. Do I do the hump day ride every week? At the moment I have been, quite a bit. Mainly because the days are so short, I haven't got out during the day. Or the sunlight is so short. Is Ant much better than Bluetooth for Zwifting? That depends, that depends. Is YouTube my full-time job? Ask Hambini. It takes up as much as a full-time job. Yeah, that's about it. Takes up as much time as a full-time job. I still don't consider myself a YouTuber. I know that sounds crazy, but when you see what trends on YouTube and what people click on, it's not the content that I do. Or what you need to do to trend on YouTube. I'm going to throw basketballs off damn walls 300 meters up in the air. Or play computer games. Yeah, Bluetooth and Ant Plus, it depends. It depends. They can both be frustrating. 13-second sprint. Let's give it a crack. We'll wind it up back here. So it won't be a sharp sprint. What are we looking at? 12, okay. There we go. Now I have to recover from that. Do I still do IT security? I could tell you, but then I have to kill you. I still keep up with all that, yep. Oh, except that. We're done. Can I confirm Giant is okay warranty-wise for trainer use? I don't specifically know, to be honest. If I was to break this bike on an indoor trainer, I wouldn't tell Giant that I was using an indoor trainer. Because you're screwed if you do. I have my own interests at heart there, not their corporate policies at heart. So, if it happened on a live stream, so be it. If they wanted to deny a warranty claim, if it got nasty, I'd go get it reviewed to see why it snapped. I'm trying to break it. Hasn't broken yet. And then I'd use pretty much the only resource I have, which is social media, to state my case if they were being pricks. It worked against Peloton. But, don't know, maybe something to check. The industry they have their heads firmly planted. Pretty much what you can see on the screen there. Fair up their own backsides when it comes to this kind of usage and not supporting it or not discussing the policy openly. It's a shambles. But if someone can make a move and support indoor training usage, stand behind it and do a media campaign on that, then they'll get a shit ton of praise. So, it's whoever's got balls to do it. Because at the moment, they're all a bit of a laughing stock. They really are. Bike insurance, yeah, I do. But yeah, that's the climate they're in. If you were to break a bike and not tell them you have it on a trainer, I wouldn't call it deceiving. I'd call that keeping your best interests at heart, because of how, the policies that are just so dodgy. They really are, for something that's worth a few $1,000s. So yeah. But I guess if you had the maybe if you had a kick, a burn mark on the back of your leg and you were hobbling, and you're saying that happened outdoors, maybe then you've got a case where you can't pull the shifty. But a bike should be supported for what bikes are used for. If that's riding indoors, because that's what you do on the bike that you've chosen to ride, that company should be 100% behind what you do. As long as there just to be a no idiot clause, that's it. If you skewer brakes or you forget to clamp it in, then it's like driving down the road with your passenger door open. There's a certain level of responsibility there, but I hope it changes. I hope it changes soon. Is Cable Air Plus really stable in solutions connecting to the Apple TV? No issue at all. Look, in theory, yeah, the cable should be fine. Just converts one thing to another. Takes in Amp Plus signal, converts it out to Bluetooth. There shouldn't be any problems. If you have interference, microwave ovens, baby monitors, doorbells that operate on 2.4, Wi-Fi on channel 10 with bleed over, or neighbours that stream Netflix on a crappy old router that's right next to your training room. There's a ton of things you can't see which could be happening. So in theory, yes, your mileage may vary though. The best thing you can do is just check it out, just test it out. If that's the solution you're going for, purchase it. If it doesn't work, send it back. Amazon have got good returns. Or like with everything, you've got to spend the time troubleshooting what's going on. Any questions, fire away now. I'll be finishing up in just a few moments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and your name will appear with a little llama right next to it. And that's what keeps things ticking over here. Little llamas, they keep things ticking over. I do appreciate people dropping by, hanging around, firing away with questions and things that makes this time go so much faster for me. And it's good to hear what everyone's up to, where everyone's from, and what the weather's like. We should have a Fitfile podcast dropping anytime soon. Ray and I recorded that on Friday night. Let me have a look and see if that's out yet. No, it's June. No, that should be out soon. I can't recall what we covered. Oh, we talked about Ray's Garmin post. Had a bit of a chat about just what's new. So give it a listen. We'll get a 55 case. We should be through the dirt here. J Ray, hold the wheel. Hold the wheel. Alrighty, I was going to dress up this this chat window, but it just doesn't come through too well. I'll try actually while I'm here. Let's have a look to see if I can get that chat display. Oof, hang on. I'm going to double up just for a sec. That chat while I get rid of this other one. Oof. Okay, that's the new chat, but no. The other one looks a little better. That's got a heap of cool stuff to it. You can do different bots and things, but nah, it's not my thing. Those colours are a bit off. I'll keep that one away. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. So everyone's icons back. That's better. Other questions that come through. Good question, Scott. Does your in-game Zwift bike make any difference to your speed on Zwift, or is it just aesthetics? It does make a difference. It really does. Every bike in the store, I'll pull over and I'll show you the store in a sec, has a star rating, and associated with that star rating is speed and weight. So the bike I'm on now, this old clunker, this thing here, where are we? This thing here is really heavy, but I put the 808 and the zip disc on just to make it look completely ridiculous. But it slows the bike down a bit because it's a heavier bike. So I'll show you where to look for. We'll go to full screen here so you can see what's going on. If you go to the garage, which is under my arm, there, oof. And over here you can have a look at the frames, and you can see here the stars. See, that is crap and crap, just really slow. Whereas you got the Zwift. This is the Zwift bike section down the bottom. If you scroll up and have a look at, see the time machine there, super aero, so it's fast, crappy for weight. So good on the flats, climbing. You're probably only talking a few seconds here or there over a couple of Ks, so it's not a hell of a lot, but it's still there. Scrolling down, something like the S5, good balance there. Probably better with cranks on it. Scroll. See, it's all, but every component has an associated value to it for aerodynamics. It really is detailed. I believe even the brake set and the group sets on them, but Zwift haven't gone into that detail yet in game. It's there in the back end. Roubaix. What I'm saving for though, oh, my legs are still shaking after that. It's a good ride. Like, how ugly is that? What's a monstrosity? Thankfully the UCI ban that kind of stuff in real racing. I'm only joking. Well, I do ban that kind of crap. So you've got the old school steel bike there. It's actually lighter than what I'm on. But if we go back to I'll show you what I'm saving for at the moment. Back over here in the drop shop, which is where you buy things. I'm saving up for this clunker. Yeah. Look at that, what a beast. So I can't get it because I'm not level 44 yet. And this thing is 3.5 million drops, which if you're new to Zwift, that's what you accumulate when you ride along. There's a whole algorithm to it, but you just ride hard, ride lots, more drops. But it's also locked at level 44 as you level up after more and more Ks. So I'm saving up for that thing because the others don't really. I'd rather a slow bike because Zwift's in-game speed is accelerated anyway. You go faster than you normally would out on the road, so it's kind of handy to have a slower bike to make it a little bit more realistic. Do you have to just buy that then, did I? Badges wise and missions, you get those as well. If you're new to Zwift, you can go through the missions and achieve all these different things. You did a U-turn, you get for that. Kempton Strava account, geez, they really incentivize feeding all the data off to another company there. That's Strava. Big fan, ride-ons. So quite a few of those I've collected over the years. Missions from 2018, 2017, 2016. Just getting old now. They accumulate. No missions in 2019. Getting lazy too. Anyway, all through there. There's lots to click on and learn. Sorry, it's all. I'll get out of the way. All good. Lots to click on and learn. And we'll go back here. I'll just check the chat. Make sure there's no outstandings. Haha! Subscribe. Thank you so much for the subscribe there. Drufil. And what else have I missed? I'm sorry if I missed your question during the stream, but always feel free to comment on any of the videos that I make. Keep an eye on the questions there and keep things ticking over, because if someone's taken the time to watch the video and answer me or ask a question, I've got the time to fire away and point you in the right direction with an answer if I have it, or if not, where to find the answer. Does it make a difference if you have a SRAM chain or a Shimano chain on your bike? No. As long as that chain is clean and not worn. That's about it. I like Durace chains. Ultegra's alright. Much of a much. Just indoors, probably not much. As long as there's nice, clean, crispy changes. That's why I like the Di2 group set or the electronic group set, which are just always, there's no cable stretch. So they're always just lined up. That's all good to go. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for dropping by. Again, if you haven't hit subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I do appreciate that. And I'm looking at just jazzing all this sort of stuff up so we can have some more interaction there in the chats and with the subscribes and things like that, just to keep things ticking along and make it more about people who watch rather than just me suffering on the bike. Anyway, enjoy your rides. Have a good weekend for what's left of it, and we shall see you during the week sometime. Cheers.